10 to 15 over 9, so far everybody is coming in here direct, and Henry, you're still, last time you transmitted there, you were still up over a 9, so yeah, pretty good signals here this morning. Won't hold it too long, don't got too much to add to the conversation this go around. Weather here is about 30 degrees right now, expected to be over freezing again today. And very good to see on the snow up there. Yeah, it's looking like from March 1st on, we're going to be in the 40s for highs for the next several days, starting next week. This is kind of unusual for the end of the year. Usually, like I was telling Henry earlier, we don't see that until, the end of March. So anyway, we're in Flex 6400 here this morning with the OM amplifier, 400 watts of carrier, and the same old 600 ohm multi-wired front antenna. And down on the comments there, I think it's gonna make it pretty good pickup truck there. It's I was really surprised with the amount of stuff that was bundled. So anyway, we'll send it over to Henry. Down your way she comes, N4EDQ. And in the 5 business group this morning, KA2ZNI.
Okay, KA2ZNI in a group, N4EDQ. Very well, Frank, you sound great on that 101. I'm on my 101 right now. And I don't know if Perry told you, but yesterday I received the scope, and I received the digital readout. And it's way different than the readout that I had before. It sure works great. So I have that hooked up, and if I'm right, I'm looking at the SDR, and I see myself pretty much on frequency. So that should work well. And but your 101 sounds great. I'm looking forward to putting up the other antennas soon. And for you guys that I'm on a vertical right now. I'm actually on a 2990 MFJ vertical that I had for years. That got hit by lightning. I had to replace the balun on it, but it's still working. It works great on 40. And so that's what I'm on. And let's see, Perry, you sound good. You're about 5 over, and Gary, you're banging in. You're like in my back door. BNY's coming in nicely. You're about 5 to 10 over. And let's see, Frank, you're about the same, 5 to 10. So everybody's doing a great job. But Kevin, you're about 15 over. Real nice signal. And we got 38 degrees this morning. 38 degrees this morning. And I was telling Don, I think I have a doctor's appointment today. I had that colon surgery last year, and they repaired a belly hernia, but the hernia is starting to come back, so I'm going to the doctor to see what they say. I hope I don't have to be going to the meat market again. Really not looking forward to that. Anyway, let me give it to K0VUW. Gary, you can tell me what you think of this 101 here, and especially with the crazy vertical. But like I said, I'm looking forward to putting the wire antenna back up. And Gary, you can give it to W3MMR, Mr. Perry, there in Chester, Pennsylvania. K0VUW, November 4 Echo Delta Queen.
KK4GZQ, good morning. Okay, there's Mr. Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. KK4GZQ. I'll get you in my log here. KK4GZQ. And I got about right straight up 0400. Alrighty then. K0VUW. Very good, Henry. Well, you're sounding fine. I see no problem with your signal. It's sounding good here. My chimes just went off. I don't know if that came through or not. I'm on my homebrew transmitter. Forget to tell people what I'm on. It's 4-250 Alpha, modulated by a pair of 572Bs. Receiver is an SX115, and the antenna is the V-beam, 3/4 wave per leg, 205 feet. Been doing a lot of work on 160, and 160 was sort of an afterthought, and I put the 75 meter higher than the 160. It wasn't so much work going through the jungle of the virgin woods and chiggers and ticks and copperheads, ravines and steep grades. I would flip-flop them. But due to all that, I'm not going to touch them. Just a very good morning to everybody. All are coming in 5-9 plus, varying numbers. But all sounds real good and what have you. It's snowing right now. We dodged a whole bunch of snow. Temperature hovering right above freezing. But she's going to drop down now, freezing and below between now and 11 o'clock, depending on how much comes down. It'll all be snow now. And let's see what else. Nobody's having any problems getting in here. They say it's very single straight. And 101E or double E, whatever it is there, Henry, sounds fine with your vertical. And the pro climbing, I'm not real fan of that. But in my day, I've done it. I used it on trees out here. Some of my bigger trees when I was younger. I bought those, they weren't really well made spikes that strap to your leg and ankle, and they hurt like crazy, rather than, something that's built into a pair of boots or a commercial grade deal. But I chunked my way down when I came down. I didn't want any of this grease lightning stuff that you guys were doing. I apparently wasn't dropped on my head as a baby to race my hard hat down the pole. Kidding. But I don't have that kind of guts to do that. I'll do anything on an airplane. I'll make your fillings come out, but not on a pole or height. I was always afraid of that in flying when I went to go, wanted to be a pilot, but I'm afraid of heights. I'm real uncomfortable. And here I found out a lot of great pilots, including Lindbergh and that, were all afraid of heights. And I thought, well, maybe it'll work. So anyway, let me move it on here. Great to hear everybody. Thanks for letting us in this morning. And I think there might have been a question that, but I got to wake up more first. W3MMR. Good signal here, Barry. Hope your cold's better. K0VUW.
K0VUW in the group W3MMR. Heard Kevin break in. So I'll send it down to you, Kev, here in a second. And then, Kevin, you can send it to my father, W2SDR, who is in there as well. And I won't keep it long here, big group. Try to keep it moving. You ever get a pimple in your nose? That's kind of disgusting. You ever get like a pimple in your nostril? It hurts, man. Oh, man. It hurts. I went to go blow my nose, and it was like excruciatingly painful. Sorry for that in the morning. But my cold's doing better. I don't feel 100% this morning, but I do feel okay. I fell asleep on the couch last night sitting up. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, or about 2:30, and I was sitting up on the couch. So I went upstairs to bed and planned on getting up at 3:30 to get on and operate, but that didn't happen. So it was more or less like 4:40 I woke up there, but the cold's okay. It's up and down. It's 1 hour I'll be okay. The next hour I'll feel like crap. The next hour I'll be okay. The next hour I'll feel like poop there. So just I guess it's par for the course. Hopefully it runs its course. So I got to get back to work tomorrow. No more days off. I don't like taking days off of work. So if it's still going on tomorrow, I guess I'll just have to suck it up and deal with it there. So just on the Anon this morning. The X100's warming up on the other side of the room. I'll probably switch over for the next round. I'll switch over to that. Got a nice cup of coffee here. And not too much else to report, except Henry, you're really strong up here this morning, Henry. You're almost 25 over. It's probably the strongest I've ever heard you up here. So that vertical is really working out for you good there, and hopefully you enjoy the new scope and the frequency counter there that you got. It works anything like it looks, it sure works just fine there, because they look like two beautiful pieces of gear there. So good morning to KA2ZNI. Good signal out this way. Everybody's got good signals here this morning. Everybody sounds good. So we'll keep it moving here. Send it down to you, Kevin, and Kevin, you can send it back up to my pop. Jesus, listen to me. KK4GZQ in the group from W3MMR.
Okay, Perry. W3MMR in the group, KK4GZQ, good morning, all the way around. I've been in here actually since 4:30 just listening to you guys and enjoying the hell of it. I heard Steve up in Buffalo. Morning, Steve. Again, good morning to you, Perry. Good morning, Frank, on the FT101, you and Henry both this morning. And I was listening to you earlier on my 101E here. And I actually am going to use it more and more. I just like the versatility of the 101E. And like I've been saying, I believe this one has an AM filter in it. I think, Frank, but and when you tune off somebody, it's got a pretty broad look at things out there before you tune off of anybody here on AM. Don, the Cats won last night down at Texas A&M by 9 points. How about that big win? Good morning to Gary. K0VUW. Gary, huge signal in here on the antenna at 200 feet. Barry, what about a pimple in your nose? That hurts. No doubt about that. I hate to hear that, buddy. And let's see. That's about it. I've got my 40-meter delta loop ironed out. I found a piece of 75-ohm TV coax out in the garage, and lo and behold, that piece was about exactly, it was exactly what I needed. It was about 34.5 feet of it. I connected the 50 ohm to the 75 ohm and then on out to the antenna. Lo and behold, she's resonant right on 7270. I'm shooting for 7290, Frank. W2SDR with the group. Good morning, everybody. I'm on the 610. Good morning to Kevin up in Wisconsin. You just got his new truck. Sounds good, Kev. So glad for you. Go ahead, Frank. KK4GZQ.
Okay, Kevin, KK4GZQ in the group. W2SDR. Nice signal up here, Kevin. Everybody's coming in really, really well. This morning, hopefully you can hear me okay. And yeah, it's going to be another day. Got to work at the animal shelter today. And leave here probably about 8 o'clock, something like that. Let me see. So, here you go. MMR was... MMR. Don't get it. Turn it to me. We might be losing each other with the conditions here. I don't know. This is what happened. Henry, you may want to mention what kind of mic. I think you're using the E104 with the 101. And there you go. So I gotta run down the hall. I waited all this time to get my turn, and now I gotta. I may be back. W2BNY. Up to you, Steve, up there in Buffalo. W2SDR. Let's see the whole.
Okay, Frank, W2SDR, W2BNY, and pretty big group here this morning. Good to hear everybody. I got to get this mouth in order. You know, I didn't do my my vocal exercises before getting on the mic here this morning, but yeah, W2BNY up here in Buffalo, and I guess I'm going to have to get an FT101. That seems like the go-to rig here on 3885. I'm on the DX100. Perry's going to be firing up his DX100 here pretty soon. Hey, Perry, I woke up with the same nostril issue that you mentioned. Boy, they are painful. And I won't get into any details because I know everybody is sipping their coffee here today. I'm looking at the Dow futures market. You guys maybe want to pull out your 401k reports and see where you stand today, but it looks like the Dow Jones is going to open another 1,000 points down at the opening. So apparently we're in for another rough day on Wall Street, which would be the third in a row. And as you guys probably know, this stuff can feed on itself. You know, people look at these indexes and they call their brokers and say, hey, you know, sell what you can, and it just keeps snowballing down the mountain, so to speak. So let's cross our fingers that this passes pretty soon, because it could be something that causes a lot of financial pain throughout the country and the world. Anyway, Kevin, good morning. BC 610 sounds pretty good. Frank, you're walking down the hall, but God bless you on your animal shelter volunteer work. That's a great cause. Gary and Don, okay on the pole climbing. I was with the telephone company for 24 years, but I was an inside guy in sales and customer service, but a lot of my buddies were pole climbers, and sometimes you see those pole climbing rigs on eBay with the foot spikes and the leather belts and all that kind of stuff. I'm a little bit too old to get into that at this point, but it's a skill you want to keep if you're an amateur radio operator. Kevin, congratulations on the new pickup truck. That sounds pretty good. Thanks for the recording you sent to me yesterday. I was listening to the conversations, and frankly, I think my signal sounded, to quote Timtron, piss weak. So I'm going to have to get one of those Slovakian amps with the KGB inspired RF tubes, and I'd probably sound a little bit stronger. Don, I meant to mention, sorry I didn't answer your question, the big painting jobs are done. I've just got a couple left. I've got to do some door thresholds, and maybe this summer I'm going to be doing one of the big hallways, and then every surface in the house will have been repainted. So that's a major accomplishment here. In fact, Don, I'm going to send it, I've been sending it to you, so I'm going to continue to do that. Don, down it comes. WC4D, you're sounding real good this morning. This is W2BNY in the group.
W2BNY, WC4D. Well, thank you. And, well, we got our balmy 43 degrees here, so I guess we're the warm spot here. Henry, did you say you were around 30-something degrees too up there? Or down there? You're in Georgia, so you're further down than we are by a bit. Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see we were 43. Yeah, that 9-point win last night, Kev, was great. Man, good morning. I love what... I tell you what, their coach has got to be the most animate coach there ever was. They need to make a video of this coach, man. Buzz, whatever his last name is. This guy jumps up and down, spins around in there, soaks it. He wears a three-piece suit to start off with. He'll shed the jacket there pretty soon, about 5 minutes after the game. Then he wears a vest underneath it. Then he'll be peeling the dust off. Around me, his shirt is soaked. You can just see his sleeves might be partially dry from his shoulder to his elbow, and even the forearms are wet from wiping the sweat off his forehead. But this guy jumps and runs and jumps. Oh my gosh, it's incredible watching. Everybody said that he might be, he should be Coach of the Year for the SEC, and considering they're only, they've won 13 or 14 games and lost about 14 games. Barely 500, but they're just for all his addicts on the sideline, it's just incredible. They need to make a video of him, and it could be a good exercise video if you could keep up with him. I don't know that a lot of them people can keep up with this guy. It's incredible to watch. And I'll tell you what, that radio had sure on there, Gary. Did you say his 572s or into a 250, which is the same as a 4400, and boy, that thing sounds good. It always sounds good. I like that radio. And Kev, the 16 is sounding really good this morning. And Perry and Steve with a pimple in their nose. I've never had one inside, but I've had them on the edge, and man, that hurt. That has got to be one of the worst pains, and it seems like once it's there, you got to keep touching it for some reason. Like you think it's gone away in the last 15 seconds, and you start the process all over and ouch all over again. So, no, I'm glad it pays to get older sometimes, and you don't get it. But every now and then you'll get a pimple here and there, every now and then. But thank goodness it ain't like back in puberty days. Yeah, running up and down the poles, Gary. I was 20 years old or 18 years old when I went into service, and you know how that story goes. But yeah, we used to run all over the place, and if you get up on top of the pole and you would freeze up, our instructor used to have a slingshot, and he would actually shoot you with rocks and stuff in the butt if you wouldn't come down off the pole. So you had to decide really quick if you wanted to be shot in the butt with a slingshot, and this was a wrist rocket. It wasn't a little old tiny five and dime one. This was a pretty good size one this guy had, and he was deadly accurate with it. I guess he'd shot a lot of people in the butt over the years because we'd been in Texas for 15, 20 years when we got there. But you could either get shot with a slingshot, and people would come down off that pole wanting to fight half the time with him, and he'd outdo you every time anyway. So you know, just going down the pole, you had your choice. You could either climb down it or slide down it. And the ones that decided to slide down didn't fare as well as the ones that climbed down. So that's all about all that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back up to Kevin. And how much snow were you supposed to get, Steve? Kevin, you didn't mention. You said you had coat of snow coming, but I don't think you said how much you're supposed to get. So KA2ZNI WC4D.
Okay, Don. Switched over here.
Yeah, WC4D, KA2ZNI. Lots of comment on here, so I'll make it as quick as I can. Question for you, Don, on next go around. I was wondering what your ICOM 7610 was set at for receive bandwidth. Just kind of curious on that. And we're up here in northern Wisconsin, or I'm in rural central Wisconsin. We're not getting any snow. We've got a clear forecast for at least the next 10 to 14 days. But it looks like starting right around March 1st, we're going to have a 4 or 5 day stretch in the 40-degree range, 40, 45 degrees. So it's very unseasonably warm right now up here. Right now we're looking at about 27, 28 degrees, and I think we're going to be over freezing again today. What was it, 3 or 4 days ago, we had a nice stretch where we were up 52 degrees in one day, so it's kind of some weird weather around here, and looks like we're going to have a pretty mild March. Of course, that can change. I can remember when I was up in western New York, and I'll have to send you the date for that one, Steve, but it was May 6th. May 6th, my prom, and we had probably about 8 to 10 inches of snow come down there, so it's anybody's guess as to what the weather's going to be like. But, May 6th, up there near Buffalo, New York, 8 to 10 inches of snow. I couldn't believe it, of all nights, prom night. So, but, like I say, around here this year, it's looking pretty mild. It looks like we're out of the woods as far as snow goes, but we'll see what happens. Good morning to you, Kevin. Sounded good on the BC 600. Probably the channel master this morning as far as signal strength. You're somewhere between 20 and 30 over. I've got the telephone over here this morning doing another recording, so I'm going to start with the link for that. And you can see how they're coming in here into central Wisconsin this morning. We got about a half hour of recording. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it off, and I'll get that posted up here pretty quickly. Very good, Kev, on the 40-meter performance and getting that thing ironed out. And, hey, who knows? I get that real nice working 20-meter inverted V up here. Maybe we'll have to get on 40 meters and try that out there. Occasionally we'll get up on 7290, 7295 and have a little fun up there. So maybe we'll catch you up there one of these times. And Frank, if you're listening, sounding fine. Fine business on the 101 with the amplifier there. You're doing a great job out here this morning. Everybody is. And sounds like a little lighter last go around. You'll hear on the recording. So, but I can hear everybody just fine up here. Steve, you're sounding great on the DX100 as always. Talking about the painful nostril issues. Yeah, we've had a couple of those years gone by, and oh man, it's just one that I'll have to go deal with. It can be very painful. So, and I wanted to say good morning to you, Perry. If I didn't already, I think I did, but sorry to hear you're feeling a little under the weather. I hope you get to feeling better there before you resume work. Nothing more miserable than going into work feeling under the weather. So hope you get to feeling better there real soon. I know everybody's just been fighting that sickness, and we've gone through it here in the household. So anyway, going very good down on the 43 degrees down there. And, yeah, 43 degrees. What I wouldn't give to have that right now up here for morning temperatures. I think we're going to be probably a couple of more months at least before we start seeing those temperatures this early in the morning. So enjoy it down there. And thanks everybody for the congrats on us picking up the truck. Yeah, that's the first pickup truck I've had since around 2000. So I think it's going to be a pretty good one. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. So with that, I think I'm going to make this last transmission. I'm going to go on the listen mode. Say 73 to you guys. Have a great morning, great rest of your day. Appreciate you letting us in there for a couple of go arounds here. And we'll probably catch you all sometime tomorrow morning. So fun threes to you, Gary, and Steve, Kevin, Barry, Frank, Steve, Don, Henry, and one big this morning. And everybody's down in fine up business. For you, Henry, N4EDQ. To take it. We'll see you guys all later. KA2ZNI, listening up.
I'm using a D104. I'm on the D104 right now. So that's the only microphone that I have this radio. So with that said, we're on. And let's see. I'm going to listen to myself through the turning hat. Let's see, I had another question. Right? I'm sure you have the scope or use the scope. And if I read this thing right, the only thing I need to do is hook up the coax. It didn't say anything in the manual about hooking the scope just to the radio with the antenna, or go between the transmitter, the amplifier, and the antenna. I wasn't sure. And the other question was, does this thing work on AM? It doesn't say anything about that in the manual that I got. And all I got was a copy of a manual, which is fine with the schematic. So if something goes wrong, we can handle that. Anyhow, I'm going to cut it short, and I'm going to give it to K0VUW.
N4EDQ K0VUW. Well, if you're talking about a monitoring scope, it'll monitor anything. It's just checking the pattern. So that shouldn't matter. Depending on the power capabilities, determine where you put it. So like the old SB 601 heat kit monitor, you had a exciter input, and you also had a amplifier side of it. So that you want to blow things up. Anyway, very good morning to those that had to leave. Thanks for the audio report. This 4-250A isn't as capable as the 400. I'm running about 157 watt carrier right now. This rig was designed to really sound great. It's got a big force and modulating transponder weight about 105 pounds. The reason this thing's called the Blue Monster is not for power, but it's in a big rack, cabinet. But altogether, it's close to 900 pounds with the transformers and stuff. So it's blue, and somebody said, well, it's like a blue monster. Okay, that's what we're calling it. We're originally around here. And okay, Don, on the guy with the rear end shot, I don't know if they can do that today. The Army's changed so much. When I was in basic, we had some guys, you meet guys from all over the country. And, you heard about guys that aren't completely there. And you're like, oh, all right. But we had some guys that were so bad. This is the truth. I tell my grandkids these things, and they look at you like, Pops, come on. But these guys didn't know their left foot from their right foot. I don't know what mountains they climbed out of, but they had them drilling with a stick and a rock. I mean, that impacted me back then, and it's still, to this day, I just seeing a bunch of guys going stick, rock. I thought, they gotta be putting them on, right? Or what? I don't know how that happens, but I guess that's the way it is. Today's Army's a little different. And of course, back then there was no physical abuse or mental discomfort. Last thing you wanted to do is have your mom send you a batch of cookies or a cake. God, make you stand there. Oh, look what Mommy gave you. Eat the whole bag of cookies standing there. At any rate, so much about that. But you getting shot in the rear end reminded me of all that stuff. And what else here? Everybody sounding good? Sorry we keep repeating that and whatnot. I don't want to get off on a tangent. And most of that stuff inside your nose, by getting beyond polite conversation, is probably an ingrown hair that has popped up, a little nose hair that's gone wild on you, and they do hurt. So, a lot of nice warm water. You can soak off the soap and put your head, hold your breath for a half hour underwater. I got to bed late, and I'm so tired. I got a blank cup of coffee, coffee cup. I'm too tired to go get the coffee. W3MMR, K0VUW.
Frank, are you still there? Okie doke, and I'll get it right to you, Frank. W3MMR, the group, KK4GZQ, good morning all the way around. Henry, I've got a friend of mine that comes to Blue Ridge every year, I think in the spring, to relax down there. You mentioned it being a resort place down there, and he sends some beautiful pictures back from your part of the country. And congratulations on your scope and your counter. And my last note, just to every one of you, it's 73 to Kevin, KA2ZNI. The CDC, I noticed when I was in the kitchen, says that this coronavirus is very serious. And Steve was talking about how it may be affecting the stock market and whatnot. Yeah, I think this one's pretty serious. We've been kind of staying out of public as much as possible, and we've not even been going to church because it's a great big crowd over there. So that's all I've got to add to the group. Good morning, guys. And up to you, Frank. And the FT101 sounds awesome. W2SDR with the group, KK4GZQ. Good morning, Frank.
Dr. Pimple Popper. I don't know if you've seen that program on cable TV, but it's amazing how these cable channels and producers try to find subjects to interest the population. And how Dr. Pimple Popper ever got started, I don't know, but it's crazy stuff on the cable channels. I'm going to dip out of here for a while and listen out. 7-3s to everybody. Somebody's been trying to check in for a half an hour, and so before anybody else picks it up, why don't we drag our feet and let that person in? I'm wondering if it's Jimmy, K5NSM. So 7-3s to all, and let's let that other person in on the fun making here on 3885. 7-3s to everybody. W2BNY.
Well, I didn't know who to send it to. Who was going to send it to me, Steve was, and I forgot all about it. Dang it. Every now and then, my radio goes to my computer. See if I can do that. Well, that ain't straightening it up either. All right, let's do it. Okay. Because it's going through my own computer speakers. I don't have to worry about my neighbor complaining. I'm complaining. But anyway, what was it? Oh, Kevin had asked me up there about my... I don't have a 7610, Kevin. I have a 7600. And I had to laugh at you the other day, Gary. You mentioned that I was talking on of 8,000 miles. That's a 7800, Gary, not a 7600. 7800, 7851, 8,000, 10,000 bucks, whatever they are. I have a 7600, which is probably getting close to 8 to 10 years old now. I bought mine used from a guy that was from your area. Used to be one of the over there where Perry lives out there, and he used to be an investigative reporter for one of the TV stations around there. And he was on the air for 40 years, I think, something like that. I think his name was Gary, but I wouldn't swear to it. And I had a really good price from him. I bought it with the intentions to resell it because I bought it so cheap. I thought I could make $600 or $700 on the radio. That's how cheap he sold it to me for. And after I got it, and he hadn't even done the update on it, which changed the screen a whole bunch on it, added a waterfall and everything else to it. And when I did the new firmware to it, I kind of liked it. So I decided to keep it. And something I was going to mention there's a de-expedition going on down to the South Oakney Islands down there. And I know a couple of the guys on the de-expedition. And last night I turned over on the computer, I switched up to I thought it was around 20 meters last night, so I turned the beam down to 159 degrees from my setting here. And I had to set the radio up for sideband because they were on sideband. I had to tune the amp up, and so when I finally heard them and stuff, and they were on split, I've never had this radio on split before, so I had to figure out how to set it up and do all that. And I gave him a shout, and the first time I called him, I had the standby on with 14 watts, whatever I was doing, wasn't going to make it. So I put the sideband switch on it, and I worked him on the first call and got a hold of him, and it was actually one of the guys that I know. So that's kind of fun when you know the operator and stuff, and I don't know how many thousands and thousands of miles away. They're off the coast of Antarctica down there, so yeah, they're way down there. So anyway, it was a good contact and fun to do all that. And we're going to have our conferences real big down in Pigeon Forge that we have every September, W3MMR conference. And I'm on the committee for that, so I'll be leaving this Thursday. I'll be get down there, and Friday and Saturday we have a meeting. I'm on the conference committee. And we'll spend 2 days of hashing everything that we did last September. We'll go over every little aspect of it, even the color shirts that we wear during the conference. If everybody should agree that we should wear blue ones this year, or if we're going to change colors or whatever, crazy stuff. Things that don't mean a thing to me, but I go down there, and the guy that runs it, our leader, buys us a great steak dinner. Usually he's paying for our hotel rooms. While we go down there, we stay at a mainstay suite. Very nice place, all been remodeled, beautiful place. They bow down to us like you wouldn't believe. We get the best of the best treatment when we're there. We rent the whole hotel while we're there, and we get the whole thing. I don't know, 300 and something rooms, I think, and we booked almost the whole hotel up there. So we get first priority for the dates that we have our conference. And people that went last year liked it so much they've already, a lot of them already booked the rooms for this year already. people around here that had never been before went down there last year with me and just absolutely loved it. They said it's probably one of the best conferences, and we have all the vendors and stuff with the KA2ZNI, ICOM, Flex, Aircraft, Vibroflex, all Scott Robbins and stuff. Expert Linears is there. We have a lot of vendors. Can't sell anything, but they can take orders and stuff. But it's hands-on. You can talk to any of the vendors that you want, learn more about it, see whatever radio you can hands, touch, everything. It's pretty cool. We have a good time. So with all that being said, I wonder what else comment I was supposed to comment on. I'm getting brain dead too. We got on really early this morning. I think we got on just a little bit, 10 minutes after 4 this morning. Me and Kevin did, and we both dropped out, and then Henry got in there, and I dropped out again, so we eating and drinking a Diet Mountain Dew, and so now I'm getting brain dead. I'm going to turn it to, I'll go ahead and, I guess I'm trying to think who Kevin turned it to. I think he turned it to Gary. No, I think he turned it to Henry. I'll turn it to Henry. I think Henry turned it to Gary. So, N4EDQ, W3MMR.
Go ahead, Gary. You pick it up, N4EDQ.
Okay, you caught me walking away there since you were going to take it. I, like Frank, have remote speakers that are RF driven. They're cordless. And you can hear it out in the yard, you can hear it wherever you want. This K0VUW, and by the way, Frank, that was an excellent description of the scope. I was too half asleep to say that. Heathkit has a selectable switch, which is basically an attenuator. But also what you said about the handbook, Henry, you can read about that or online now and what have you. And Donna, it sounds like a very nice place you went to and whatnot, but I didn't catch what show it was. It sounds like an invention of some kind. So next time you might repeat that. And this health thing, you know, what can you do? With the health problems I've had, my immune system is just zero with all the radiation and stuff like that, so I'm a prime target. But I kid when this happens, read your Bible. Read your Bible. Maybe this is it, huh? So, you know, I'd like to stick around. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about all your great kids. I mean, great kids and just super grandkids. And, they just kill me. I think I'm doing it. So, it's serious stuff. If ever I was serious. How'd you like to be living in New York with 9 million people? And that breaks out. Good luck, Charlie. I'm glad I live out in the woods. But my buddy Batman's coming here. What do you need, Batman? This is my black cat that, since a kitten, lays and plays with my 2 black labs. You know, Batman, I believe, thinks he is a black lab. I'm just saying, we got over the year maybe 30 cats, because we try to keep 6 cats around here all the time over the last 50 years. We had a couple cats live to 21. Our vet had never seen a cat live that long. But I'll let the dogs out, Batman to go and tell them, come on in, whistle. Batman comes back, always the last one though, waits, follows the labs in. And then I also have a Australian sheepdog, but they lay around me right now. They're waiting for me to take them out. All four of them are just, I got to watch when I get up, and I can't roll my chair because everybody, I think they think I'm their mother or something. Of course, we've never been separated, so they probably should. My black gloves are going to be 16. It's coming to the very crucial time. And we have never been apart since I used to take them to work and let them run around down at the plant and what have you. The only time we've been separated is when I've been in the hospital.